this morning. And again, welcome. Welcome to Unity of Louisville, our 2023 annual Burning Bowl service. Yes, yes. We are ready. We are enthusiastic and zeal. We are ready for today. So today will be a little different than our normal Sunday service. Can we be normal in Unity? I don't know. I don't know if we're ever normal. Yeah, exactly. Brand new this year, so it's a little different. I won't be talking as much, more, as I said, more about an experience. Because our hearts, you get enough head stuff, right? I do. I get enough head stuff. And so I'm open to experiencing, feeling the Holy Spirit. So that's the invitation today, is to experience yourself as the divine. So the burning bowl, indigenous people from forever used fire as a symbol of transmutation, to change and to purify and to let go. And as is the tradition of Unity churches worldwide, there is an annual burning bowl service to symbolize letting go of the old year, old patterns, old thoughts and behavior, and we create a vacuum. We create space for the new. So sort of similar to New Year's resolutions, except with more surrender, with more allowing spirit, making our hearts. You know, that if you're familiar with that Unity song, Sanctuary, Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. So we're preparing our hearts this morning to have a space of holiness that they already are. And so we get to have that moment today. So to do that, let's anchor into just a real quick groundedness. So I invite you to get comfortable again. Get comfortable enough to let go. So we're going to get comfortable. We're going to surrender. What I love about Spirit is that I don't have to be in charge. And when I'm really doing it right, I don't have to do anything but create the space. Give that invitation to Spirit, like, Lord, take me. Because sometimes I can get to the point, and over the last couple of years with the pandemic and just all the stuff that happens in the world and all the things that look like tragedy to people that I know and love or people that we see, it can be a lot for our hearts. So today we are offering that up. God knows what we don't know, and right now we don't have to know. So as you become anchored, breathe into that spot in your body where you feel your center. If you get a sense of any tension in your body, send a breath there. There's nothing that you have to do. Just breathe in right now. Continue to breathe and go deeper, deeper into yourself. Brother Lawrence wrote a book called Practicing the Presence of God. So in this moment, we can breathe into that presence that is within us, all around us. You are fully supported. Those ancestors and beings of light that we called in surround us And so as we think about Unity's annual Burning Bowl service, a time of releasing and letting go, one of the 12 powers is elimination. So take a breath and think about, bring to mind what you are feeling called to release today. Anything about your past, anyone or anything that you are ready to forgive. Any habits or any thoughts, any behaviors that no longer serve you. Our mind might already know of some things. What does your heart say? What does your soul say? For you to be who you really are, what do we need to offer to Spirit? So continue to breathe. And allow it to come. There is no effort in Spirit. You can't do it wrong. So if your mind is starting to chatter at you, that's okay. Take a breath. Okay, take one more breath. And now I'd like for you to come back present to your body, aware of your seat, the person next to you or in front of you, behind you. Knowing that the work that we do today will not stop in just this morning. We are energy, we are eternal. And so the divine will continue to work with this offering, this space that we're creating today. So now I invite you to open your eyes. And when you have a sense of what you're ready to release, the cards that you were given, if you would pull your card out of your envelope. Did everyone get a card? Okay. Mohammed, we have a few people in the front. If you don't mind, please, sir. So as we're getting cards for everyone, if you gently pull out your card, there is a very, very small piece of parchment paper, flash paper inside your envelope. Really, really small. Did everyone get one? So the card is it's a two-part ceremony. It's the burning bowl part of the ceremony, the releasing, and then it's a letter to God. So that's what your card is for. And so we're going to write what we are wanting to release on that very tiny piece of paper. I remember one year, the burning bowl, this wasn't enough for me. I wrote as small as I could. I did the corners, the front and the back. And then I pulled out another piece of paper because that didn't get it. I was trying to release everything. You're saying, bye, Felicia. So the idea, it is small. It's symbolic, right? So We're not looking for memoirs. It could be a word or two to symbolize what you're wanting to release. You are the creator, so however you want to use your flash paper, it's what feels right for you. Is everybody good? Did everyone get one? Okay. And so the pens are brand new, so you might have to like scratch on something to get them going. But what you want to do is to write what you're ready to release, or it could be what's ready to release you. What's done with you this year? I know if my girlfriend hears me complaining about one more thing, done with that this year. I want to step into new goodness, new blessings, new opportunities for myself, for my family, and for all of you. Who do I have to be? What do I have to let go of to be able to do that? What blessings do you want for yourself and for your family? What blessings are you willing to grow into? What fear are you ready to release? Who do you need to forgive this year? I got a few of those. What do you need to forgive this year? What are you ready to allow self-forgiveness or healing? So once you have a sense of that, write that on your paper. It could be one word that symbolizes all of that for you, that encaptures all of that for you. Spirit knows. This is heart work. It's less about the actual word. It's about the feeling. Unity teaches the power is in the feeling. The power is in the intention. So once you have that, ushers, we're ready to light our candles at our tables. So we have one table over here. And what I'm going to do is we'll work in sections. And one section at a time, I'll have you go to your appointed table. And you're going to take your flash paper and you're going to put the corner into the flame. And it'll probably do a light show. Don't get scared. It's special paper. It will not burn you, but it will probably like burn up in a flash, which is why it's called flash paper. But you're going to do that with a sense of ceremony, a sense of, yes, God, I am giving this to you. I am giving my life and my heart to you. Do in me what I may not think is possible for myself or for others or whatever your intention is. Everybody good? There's one rule about the burning bowl. There are no take-backs. So be sure that you've released it, right? Don't pick it up on your way to the car. If you do find, sometimes it is common where you pray for something and ask for something, and then all heck breaks loose. In New Thought and Metaphysics, that's called chemicalization. So don't be scared. It could happen that the thing that you prayed for, sometimes to get what you asked for, Spirit has to clear the way for it. So if you ask to be an instrument of peace, then you might see what might look like conflict or chaos. Take it as a sign that Spirit is at work. So don't let it scare you. Stay faithful on your path. Thank you, ushers. Did the ushers, did you all get a chance to release? We're making sure everybody's clean, right? Even our kids. Our kids have flash paper, and I think Leah said something about making candles, like the whole household. We're going to cover everybody. So I want to close with this. You also have your card. If you'd like to, through the remaining minutes of the service, you're welcome. This is for a letter to God. So you're welcome to start writing your letter to God. Once we release and once we create space in that opening, then now we're ready to set intention for what we want to bring in, what we want to manifest, what we want to see, experience. And we're talking about you as a soul, as a divine soul. Sometimes that message gets lost in the world, depending on what kind of job you have or what your life situation is. Sometimes it can get lost that you are divine, that wherever we are, God is. So you can start your card now, or you can actually take it home and have another quiet time where you can go even deeper. But you can write your letter to God, whatever it is you feel like you need to say to Spirit. The Spirit within you, you live and move and have your being in Spirit. There's no separation. So once you finish your letter, you can put it in your envelope. For anyone joining online, you can put your letter that you wrote in an envelope and seal it and put it away. You can put it under your mattress, on the mantle, in your Bible, somewhere, but you're just going to hand it over to God. And then around summertime, or Spirit will nudge you when it's time, you'll pull your letter out and you'll read it. I love it when I write a letter and I forget all about it and life goes on, and then I read it like, oh my God, I cannot imagine how wonderfully Spirit worked with that prayer. So I'm going to tell you a story and then I'll close. So I have 2 daughters. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I've been at Unity of Louisville since late 1999. I have volunteered at everything with the kids, more like voluntold. Oh, you'd be great at such and such, and oh, you'd be great, and we'd love to have you do this, and okay. So I've done it all, worked with all levels of our kids. We had so many kids that we had to split them into classrooms, and we had like 2 and 3 volunteers, and people were on a rotation. Would love to see that again here. We're already started today. Then I've been one of our prayer chaplains. I did that for 11 years straight. And then I platformed, which is sort of what Faith was doing for us today. So beautifully, I might add. Then I led meditations, and then I started giving talks, wearing a whole bunch of hats. However, I'm just like you. I'm a person trying to live my life the best I can, opening the Spirit, learning more, putting these principles to practice in my own life, and then just seeing how Spirit takes that and runs with an open heart. Be surprised what Spirit can do with an open heart. So here's my story. So Christmas time, my mother died at Christmas time. So for a lot of years, Christmas was sad, and it was not a time that I wanted to really get with family and all the coming together and things like that. So it got to be rough. But there came a time where Christmas became exciting again. So I have 2 daughters, 13 and 26. And this year for Christmas, we didn't go anywhere. We stayed home. It was kind of sad this year. But what we started doing a couple of years ago is we would take our Christmas gifts and we would spread them out. So instead of opening everything all at once, we'd have 2 or 3 here, like at the beginning of the day, and then like around lunchtime or just whenever we felt like we wanted to do it, and then again at night. It's so much fun to do it that way. So this year, here's what I did. I created a scavenger hunt for my daughters, even the 26-year-old. I took some of their gifts, and I planned this out a couple of weeks ahead of time. They didn't know I was going to do this. I planned it out and thought about, in our little tiny house, where could I hide gifts? I had so much fun just even thinking about it. And then I sort of picked out the gifts. I'm going to give you a pro tip for anyone with children. Last year, my youngest daughter peaked in gifts. This year, I didn't put names on them. So she didn't know which ones were hers, so she couldn't peek. You're welcome if you use that next year. She couldn't peek. Now, what she doesn't know, and then I told her later, is I put them on, like, one side of the tree was for one side of the tree was for the other one, so then I wouldn't forget. So with the scavenger hunt, I got real creative, like the juices were going. So I took a piece of paper, kind of wrote the little name, and then I created like the little fun scissors that create shapes and came up with these clues and got all excited. And then on another side, so I had 5 gifts that they had to find somewhere in the house, 2 gifts that they had to guess what they were. And then I covered it up because I didn't want them peeking. So we only had one gift at a time where they could see the clue on what it is. They had so much fun. And it would be gifts that were like $5. Like, I wasn't balling on Christmas gifts, but it was the fun that brought a sense of love and a sense of memories. My kids are going to talk about that forever. My youngest one loved it so much, she asked if she could take some of our gifts and then do her own scavenger hunt. So we had another round of it. So here's the reason I bring that up. With the different clues, they had to think about, like, where could that be? And one of them was, for my youngest daughter, the one thing I want you to do on Fridays. It didn't take her long, which was wash her clothes. So there was a gift in the washing machine. So where is Spirit putting your gifts? As you walk through this year, as you walk through your situations, where is the gift? There is a gift in it. There's a gift in it. You got to look for it. And it might not look like what you think is going to look like as you go through the year. It might not feel like it. There's a gift in it. There's a blessing in everything you're going to experience in this year. And that blessing is going to be you. Who are you going to become going through this year? So I just love how Spirit works. I had so much fun doing that, and I felt so close to my daughters and that experience. And that's what we strive for at Christmas time and holidays and whenever we get together with our families. So you going through the year, whatever you walk through, there's a blessing in it. There's a gift in it. And that gift is meant to be good and expanded good and only good. So when you're going through something this year, if it doesn't feel good, you haven't gotten to the gift yet. So when you come into an experience, bless it, because we use our words and our thoughts and our intentions to co-create our reality with Spirit. All right, so do your letters to God, the God that is within you. The God's within you. Bless this year. We wish you a happy new year, a happy new you with health and wealth and prosperity and changes. Sometimes changes, they can be a doozy. But if you stick through it, there is nothing that God won't bring you to, that God won't bring you through. And God already knows the end in mind. I already knew where I was hiding those presents. I knew before I even knew I knew that I was going to even do that. I knew where I was hiding them. God knows where your good is. God knows where you need blessings, where your heart is ready to be filled in new places. A lot of you are already blessed. You have tons of family. You get together. You love each other. There's still room for God to do something new for you to be who you can be, the new you in this new year. So thank you for being here. We're so glad that you're here. We're so glad that you are blessing this first service, this first time in this space for us. For we know that church is without walls. Church is our consciousness, our heart, and our intentions. And all of you are the hands and feet, the disciples of the Christ. So happy New Year. We love you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. And so it is. Amen.